Classic had won the contract to build a smart tunnel that will ease traffic congestion in the city. The cost of the project was estimated to be Rm 950 million and is to be completed in 2 years. On January 1, 2016, the entity borrowed from various sources for the construction and working capital as follows: bank term loan, the interest rate is 8% and the amount is Rm 400 million. Corporate bonds, the interest rate is 10% and the amount is Rm 300 million. Institutional borrowing, the interest rate is 9% and the amount is Rm 300 million. During the year, Classic only utilized 80% of the allocated funds and invested the remaining amount. The investment turned an income of Rm 10 million required. With reference to the relevant MFRS, calculate for the year ended December 31, 2016. First, the capitalization rate. Second, the amount of interest that qualifies for capitalization. Third, the amount of interest that is charged to expense.
The accounting standard that applicable to the question is MFRS 123, borrowing costs. Borrowing costs prescribes the criteria for determining borrowing costs that can be capitalized on qualifying assets. Borrowing costs are interest and other costs incurred in relation to borrowing of funds include interest, amortization of discounts, premiums and ancillary costs relating to borrowings.
For question 1, capitalized rate, bank term loan, Rm 400 million, the interest rate 8%. For corporate bonds, Rm 300 million and the interest rate is 10%. For IB, Rm 300 million, the interest rate is 9%. So to calculate weighted average, first of all we need to total up 3 of this amount, so we get 1000 million. So for weighted average, 400 million divided by 1000, so we will get 0.4. For corporate bonds, 300 divided by 1000, we will get 0.3. For IB, 300 divide 1000, so we will get 0.3. To get the weighted average times interest rate, so we need to times up weighted average with interest rate. So for bank term loan, 0.4 times with 8%, we will get 3.2%. For corporate bonds, 0.3 times 10%, we will get 3%. For IB, 0.3 times 9%, we will get 2.7%. So we need to total up 3 of this amount, so we will get 8.9% as a capitalized rate.
Okay, now question 2, amount of interest that qualify for capitalization. So 8.9% we will get at question 1, which is the total of weighted average times interest rate. Then we times it by 950 million. Where do we get 950 million is on the question, which is the cost of the project was estimated to be 950 million. So we have to times it. Then when we times it, we will get 84.55 million ringgit. Then we have to minus 10 million. So where do we get the 10 million ringgit? It is on the question, which is investment earn an income of 10 million ringgit. So when we minus 84.55 million minus 10 million ringgit, we will get 74.55 million. So next, the question have given a table. So first, with the first question, we calculate the table for the weightage, average, and interest rates. Now we have to times it by only using ringgit and interest rate. So time. See, time. So first is bank term loan, which is 400 million ringgit, which is then we times it by 8%, which we will get 32 million ringgit. So total interest is 32. Sorry. So next is corporate bond, 300 million ringgit times by 10% of interest rate. So we get the total interest rate is 30%. So next is institutional borrowing. So 300 million ringgit times 9%, we will get 27 million. So we add up 30 million ringgit and 27 million ringgit. We will get an answer of 89 million ringgit.
Okay, so the question is, what is the amount of interest that is charged to expense? Okay, first we take 89 million, which is the total interest in the working. So we minus with the 74.55 million, which is the amount of interest that qualifies for capitalization. So we will get 14.45 million, which is the amount of interest that is charged to expense.